Welcome to Hero Villains. Who do you think would win in a battle between Mr. Sinister, the immortal geneticist, and Atrocitus, the supreme leader of the Red Lantern Corps? This is not simply a confrontation between two warriors who possess supernatural powers, but a collision between two completely different philosophies of destruction. Mr. Sinister represents cold scientific obsession, the desire to control evolution and manipulate life at the genetic level, while Atrocitus is the embodiment of primal rage, blood, and fire. A being who witnessed his entire civilization wiped out and swore to burn everything in his path. Both are beings who have existed for millennia, witnessed countless civilizations rise and fall, and carry deep psychological scars that have shaped the paths they chose. Who can exploit their opponent's fatal weakness before being betrayed by their own? Let's begin the analysis.
Mr. Sinister, the immortal geneticist. Mr. Sinister, whose real name is Nathaniel Essex, was born in the 19th century in London, England. Essex was a Victorian scientist with a brilliant intellect and a pathological obsession with Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. While Darwin stopped at observation and documentation, Essex wanted to go further. He wanted to directly interfere with the evolutionary process and become the one who shaped the future of humanity. This obsession led the scientific community of his time to regard him as a madman, but Essex never wavered. He believed he stood on the threshold of a new era, one in which humanity could redesign itself, eliminate every weakness, and achieve absolute perfection. The turning point in Essex's life came when he discovered the existence of mutants, individuals who possessed the X gene, allowing them to wield supernatural abilities far beyond the limits of ordinary humans. This discovery fueled Essex's obsession, convincing him that mutants were the next step in evolution and that he had to be the one to control and direct that evolutionary advancement. He began conducting brutal experiments on the earliest mutants, collecting genetic samples, studying their DNA structures, and attempting to recreate their supernatural abilities in the laboratory. These experiments laid the foundation for centuries of genetic manipulation that he would carry out later. Essex's true transformation into Mr. Sinister occurred when he encountered Atrocitus, one of the oldest beings on Earth, an immortal who had existed since ancient Egypt. Atrocitus recognized the potential within Essex's madness and offered to transform him into an immortal being in exchange for Essex serving Atrocitus's vision of the survival of the fittest. Essex agreed, and the transformation turned him into Mr. Sinister, a being whose body had been completely restructured at the molecular level, granting him immortality, regeneration, shapeshifting, and numerous other supernatural abilities. From then on, Mr. Sinister existed for centuries, secretly manipulating the human gene pool, particularly the Summers and Grey bloodlines, in an attempt to create the perfect mutant to serve his own purposes. Mr. Sinister's powers are a terrifying combination of genius, intellect, and supernatural abilities on a molecular level. Sinister's body is no longer human in any meaningful sense. Every cell in his body functions as an independent unit capable of regeneration and adaptation. He can regenerate from a single cell, shapeshift into virtually any form, alter his body size, and create biological weapons from his own body. His regenerative abilities are nearly absolute, allowing him to survive attacks that would completely destroy an ordinary body, from city-level energy explosions to the most powerful psychic attacks. Mr. Sinister possesses powerful telekinetic abilities, allowing him to manipulate matter from a distance, create protective force fields, and unleash energy blasts with considerable destructive power. He can fly, move at supersonic speeds, and use psychic energy to attack his opponent's mind directly. However, Sinister's true power does not lie in direct attacks, but in his ability to manipulate genetics and biology. He can alter the DNA structure of any organism with a single touch, create artificial mutations, neutralize the powers of other mutants, and even create perfect clones of virtually anyone. Mr. Sinister's intelligence is what makes him truly terrifying. With more than a century of research into genetics, molecular biology, and biotechnology, Sinister possesses knowledge far beyond that of any scientist on Earth. He has created countless experiments, ranging from cloning mutants and developing biological weapons capable of targeting specific individuals, to designing genetic programs that span multiple generations. He is a master manipulator, always having layers of contingency plans in place, and is rarely caught off guard by any situation. Mr. Sinister's battles against formidable enemies have proven just how dangerous he is. Throughout the history of the X-Men, Sinister has faced nearly every member of the team, from Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Wolverine to Storm and Gambit. One of his most memorable battles was against Madeline Pryor, the clone of Jean Grey that he himself created. During the battle, Sinister displayed absolute ruthlessness, being willing to sacrifice his own creation to achieve his goals, proving that to him, every living being is merely a tool serving his grand experiment. Another notable battle was when Sinister faced Apocalypse, the being who had made him immortal. Despite owing his immortality to Apocalypse, Sinister was never truly loyal to him, secretly working against his former master. In certain events, when Apocalypse became too powerful and threatened Sinister's long-term plans, he allied himself with the X-Men to oppose him, using his knowledge of Apocalypse's genetic weaknesses to create specialized weapons. Sinister has also faced high-level cosmic entities. During the X-Men Messiah Complex event, he confronted Cable, the son of Cyclops from the future, in a battle that stretched across multiple timelines. Sinister used his knowledge of timelines and genetics to create complex traps. During the Inferno event, Sinister manipulated Madeline Pryor into opening a portal to Limbo, summoning thousands of demons to attack New York, demonstrating his ability to manipulate events on a city-wide scale. However, Mr. Sinister is not without weaknesses. His greatest weakness lies in his obsession. Sinister is so focused on his genetic objectives that he sometimes overlooks direct threats. He underestimates enemies whom he considers to have no genetic value, and this has repeatedly allowed him to be caught off guard. Furthermore, despite possessing nearly absolute regenerative abilities, Sinister can still be destroyed if every cell in his body is destroyed simultaneously, something that is extremely difficult but not impossible.
I sincerely hope you will subscribe to the channel. It would mean a great deal to us, and you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Now let's move on to Atrocitus, the Red Rage of Sector 666. Atrocitus, whose real name is Atros, is one of the most terrifying beings born on the planet Ryut in Sector 666. Atrocitus was once an ordinary man, a husband, a father, and a member of a peaceful civilization. However, everything changed forever when the Manhunters, the robotic army created by the Guardians of Oa to maintain order throughout the universe, went out of control and carried out a massive massacre. Sector 666. Atrocitus' home was completely wiped out. Billions of lives were destroyed in an instant, including Atrocitus' wife and children. Only 5 people survived the catastrophe, and Atrocitus was one of them. The pain of the loss was too great, too sudden, and too unjust, creating within him a flame of hatred that would never go out. He swore revenge, not only against the Manhunters, but also against the Guardians of Oa, the ones who created them and were responsible for the catastrophe. This vow guided Atrocitus for millennia, transforming him into one of the most dangerous enemies of the Green Lantern Corps. The second major turning point in Atrocitus' life came when he discovered the power of emotion, specifically rage. Emotion was not merely a psychological state, but also a primal source of cosmic energy. Each color of the emotional spectrum corresponded to a different source of energy, and red, the color of rage, was one of the most powerful and destructive. Atrocitus learned how to harness this energy, created the first Red Lantern ring, and founded the Red Lantern Corps, an army fueled by hatred and the desire for destruction. Atrocitus' power while wielding the Red Lantern ring is truly terrifying. The ring is not merely a weapon, but a living entity that connects directly to the wearer's emotions and transforms rage into physical energy. Atrocitus can create any energy construct he can imagine, from close combat weapons to enormous protective force fields. He can fly faster than light, travel between galaxies, and survive in the vacuum of space. His body is constantly surrounded by a red energy field that protects him from most forms of physical and energy-based attack. However, Atrocitus' most unique power lies in blood magic, an ancient form of magic he learned during the years he spent wandering after the Ryut catastrophe. Blood magic allows Atrocitus to use his own blood and the blood of his enemies to create devastating spells, summon entities from other dimensions, and even manipulate reality to a certain degree. When blood magic is combined with the power of the Red Lantern ring, Atrocitus becomes an almost unstoppable entity, capable of destruction on a planetary scale. Atrocitus' rage is not only a source of power, but also an endless source of fuel. Unlike a Green Lantern, who needs willpower to maintain the power of the ring, a Red Lantern is fueled by emotion, and Atrocitus' rage is limitless. He carries within him the pain of losing his family, losing his planet, and losing everything he ever loved, and that pain has never faded. Every passing moment reminds him of what he lost, and every memory adds more fuel to the fire of his rage. This means Atrocitus' power never diminishes. Instead, the longer he fights, the stronger he becomes. Atrocitus is a brutal and merciless warrior. He does not fight with finesse or complex strategies, but with overwhelming power and absolute ruthlessness. He is willing to destroy an entire planet if it serves his quest for revenge. He has no moral boundaries, no hesitation, and no compassion. To Atrocitus, every being in the universe is either a potential enemy or a tool to further his vengeance. When Atrocitus faced Sinestro, the leader of the Sinestro Corps, both were enemies of the Green Lantern Corps, but their philosophies were completely opposed. Sinestro fought for order and control, while Atrocitus fought for destruction and revenge. The battle between the two Lantern Corps leaders was one of the most epic confrontations in history, with multicolored energy blasts tearing through the space around them. Atrocitus used blood magic to create magical traps, while Sinestro used the power of fear to attack him psychologically. Atrocitus also faced high-level cosmic entities. During the Rage of the Red Lanterns event, he confronted the Guardians of Oa, whom he considered responsible for all the suffering in his life. Although the Guardians possessed cosmic power far beyond that of any Lantern, Atrocitus refused to back down, using his rage as a weapon against their coldness and calculated nature. He declared that the Guardians had to pay for what they had done to Sector 666, and that no power in the universe could stop him from fulfilling that vow. During the War of the Green Lanterns event, Atrocitus temporarily allied himself with other Lantern Corps to confront a common threat. However, this alliance was only temporary, and as soon as the threat was resolved, Atrocitus returned to his path of destruction. He trusted no one, accepted no compromise, and viewed every relationship as a form of weakness. Atrocitus' most memorable moment came when he faced Hal Jordan, the greatest Green Lantern. Hal Jordan represented everything Atrocitus hated: willpower, order, and faith in justice. While Atrocitus believed that the universe was a cruel and unjust place where the strong devoured the weak, Hal Jordan believed that willpower and courage could overcome any challenge. Atrocitus overwhelmed Hal Jordan in raw power, but was ultimately defeated by the Green Lantern's unwavering will. However, Atrocitus is not without weaknesses. His greatest weakness lies in his own rage. The Red Lantern ring is fueled by emotion, and when that rage is controlled or redirected, Atrocitus' power is significantly diminished. In addition, his rage can sometimes cause him to lose his composure, make impulsive decisions, and become vulnerable to manipulation by more intelligent enemies. Atrocitus fights through instinct and emotion, and this makes him susceptible to psychological warfare from those capable of exploiting his mind. He also lacks the regenerative abilities or immortality possessed by certain other entities, and if his ring is destroyed or separated from his body, he becomes significantly more vulnerable. Now, we have two entities who fight through overwhelming power and absolute ruthlessness. In terms of pure physical strength, Atrocitus has a clear advantage. The Red Lantern ring grants him physical power far beyond that of any ordinary being, allowing him to go toe-to-toe with some of the most powerful entities in the universe. His rage is an endless source of fuel, meaning his strength never diminishes throughout the battle. He can unleash physical attacks with destructive force comparable to supernova explosions, while the red energy field surrounding his body can withstand planetary-level energy attacks. Mr. Sinister, despite possessing regenerative and shape-shifting abilities, cannot compare to Atrocitus in terms of direct physical strength. In a pure hand-to-hand confrontation, Atrocitus would overwhelm Sinister with relentless attacks, giving him no time to think or formulate a plan. However, Mr. Sinister is not a hand-to-hand fighter. His true strength lies in his intelligence, preparation, and ability to manipulate. If Sinister has time to prepare before the battle, he will not step onto the battlefield empty-handed. He will analyze the energy structure of the Red Lantern ring, identify the emotional frequencies it operates on, and create specialized weapons designed to neutralize it. He could develop a biological virus targeting Atrocitus' DNA structure, or a device that emits opposing emotional frequencies to weaken his rage. Sinister is a master of preparation, and he would never confront an enemy without having at least 3 contingency plans. In terms of energy, both possess terrifying sources of power, but their nature is completely different. Atrocitus uses emotional energy, a powerful source of energy that depends on his psychological state. Mr. Sinister uses telekinesis and biological energy, sources that are more stable but have limits to their maximum power. In a direct energy confrontation, Atrocitus would have the advantage thanks to the overwhelming power of the Red Lantern ring. However, Sinister could use his creativity to find alternative approaches, manipulate the surrounding environment, create energy traps, and use the speed of his thoughts to identify weaknesses in Atrocitus' defenses. The blood magic aspect of Atrocitus is an important variable. Blood magic is a form of power that Mr. Sinister, as a purely scientific mind, may not fully understand. Sinister possesses extensive knowledge of biology and genetics, but blood magic operates according to different rules that science cannot completely explain. If Atrocitus uses blood magic to attack, Sinister would have to face a form of power he has never encountered before, and this could give Atrocitus an unexpected advantage. Psychologically, both have critical weaknesses. Atrocitus is completely driven by rage, and this makes him vulnerable to manipulation. Someone as intelligent as Sinister could use images, memories, or words to trigger or control Atrocitus' rage, turning it into a weapon against him. Sinister could bring back memories of Sector 666 of Atrocitus' wife and children, not to make him suffer, but to make his rage become blind and uncontrollable. An Atrocitus who has lost control is an Atrocitus who is more likely to make mistakes. In terms of survivability, Mr. Sinister has a significant advantage. His ability to regenerate from a single cell makes him virtually immortal in the conventional sense. Atrocitus could destroy Sinister's body hundreds of times, but as long as a single cell remains, Sinister will regenerate. However, Atrocitus is not an impatient opponent. With the Red Lantern ring, he can create molecular-level containment fields, trapping every cell of Sinister within an inescapable space. He could also use blood magic to curse Sinister's body and prevent his regenerative abilities from functioning. In terms of combat experience, both are seasoned warriors. Mr. Sinister has existed for more than a century, facing countless enemies ranging from mutants to cosmic entities. Atrocitus has also fought for millennia, battling the Green Lantern Corps, the Guardians of Oa, and many other powerful beings. However, their fighting styles are completely different. Sinister fights through preparation and manipulation, always having a plan in place and never allowing anything to happen outside his expectations. Atrocitus fights through instinct and power, responding to every situation with rage and brutality. Atrocitus fights for revenge, for rage, and for the pain of loss. These emotions are his endless source of power, but they are also his greatest weakness. Someone as intelligent as Sinister can exploit these emotions and turn them into weapons against Atrocitus himself. Sinister could create illusions of Sector 666 of Atrocitus' wife and children, causing him to lose focus and make mistakes. This would be a hard-fought victory requiring careful calculation, but in the end, the victory would belong to Mr. Sinister.
And that is our analysis of the battle between the genetic genius and the tyrant of rage. Let us know what you think by leaving a comment below. Do you stand with Sinister's cold intelligence or Atrocitus' primal power? If you enjoy epic showdowns between masters of manipulation, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next multiversal battle. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again in the next battles. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much.